You're the CEO of a payments company, and but the employee from Team Ripple says, well, why don't you give an update on what's going on at Ripple? And I start talking about the SEC. And after the meeting, he very delicately says to me, no one gives a shit. And his point was, if you're not in the United States, the governments in Abu Dhabi, governments in Switzerland, Singapore, UK, Japan, they've provided the clarity how they view and categorize digital assets, and they don't care that the United States SEC.
It's important to remember the SEC is just having jurisdiction under the United States. A lot of Southeast Asia and Africa countries are welcoming Ripple and the innovation that XRP as a cryptocurrency can provide. Do not forget that. A lot of must-know information in this video, guys. Last chance to accumulate XRP, the beginning of forever. And this guy uses something called a fractal, taking prior price action off the chart and mimicking it off these same price gains in the past. Now, XRP in the past went up 65,000%. That's a little bit moon boyish, a little bit crazy to think about. But at the same time, cryptocurrency is a crazy digital asset, crazy asset class. And you got to think about what percent of the world has truly adopted it and is using it. And that's still very small. So looking at 2017, 2018's Fractal, history doesn't repeat, but it often does rhyme. You're looking at $113 XRP price. And speaking of XRP, if you guys need an exchange to get XRP or Flare, I recommend Uphold. It's sleek, it's simple, it's secure. It's where I buy my XRP and Flare daily. A link to Uphold in the video description below. And if you want $41 guaranteed for free, sign up with Webull, deposit 1 penny. You can get up to 3K in free stocks. Typically, you just get $40 to $300. You're guaranteed $41 minimum value just for signing up and depositing a penny. A link to Webull in the video description below. And this is what your dollar is worth if you just keep it in a bank account. It's a little bit small. I'll try and zoom in a little bit for you. But the purchasing power of the US dollar since 1920 until now has gone down over 95%. And yeah, you might have $100,000 in the bank account for the past 30 years, but that $100,000 just 30 years ago was worth more than 2.2x in purchasing power than it is today. And this is because of the money printing going absolutely crazy. An ex-Ripple director urging El Salvador to switch to XRP. Look at this right here. In response to Romero's tweet, Matt Hamilton, a former director of developer relationship at Ripple, suggested using technology that is better suited for this purpose, such as XRP and the XRP ledger. He argues that getting upset about the limitations of Bitcoin and its widespread use does not help anyone. Bitcoin basically has a lot of challenges. The recent surge in demand for Bitcoin because of these things called ordinals. Think basically text inscriptions on the Bitcoin ledger. Bitcoin is having tremendous fees right now, and Ethereum is as well. And XRP really shines differently here because if you've sent XRP recently or ever, you know that it's very much faster and it's a lot cheaper. Now take a listen to this clip here. This is attorney John Deaton talking with the head lawyer for Coinbase. Coinbase is being sued by the SEC right now as well.
Every argument that you're making about secondary sales equally applies to XRP. And yet XRP was suspended. And then we see a case against Bittrex where the SEC says algo is also a security. And of course, there isn't a suspension of that. And so do you understand where, as an XRP holders, that they get frustrated or even angry that they're penalized? Not that anyone wants you to delist algo or suspend algo. Let me make that clear. I just don't know what's your thoughts on that, sir?
No, I do understand that frustration. And look, I get it. People can be passionate about these issues, and the rhetoric can sometimes get heated. But I understand where folks are coming from, and I also can understand why it can feel like there's a double standard that's being applied in a variety of circumstances. The law evolves, circumstances evolve. As the chair himself likes to say, facts and circumstances constantly change. But I can understand where that frustration is. At the same time, I want your listeners and followers to understand we are committed to applying the law and standing up for the rule of law for everyone, including holders of XRP. It's one of the reasons, John, that we submitted an amicus brief in the case against the Ripple defendants, in order to support one of their particular defenses, the fair notice defense that was raised, which I think ultimately is something they could and should win on at trial if it gets to that. Others spoke to some of the other issues, including the secondary markets point that you've raised and been such an articulate voice on now for many, many months. I think the main point, John, for all of us is that this is a team sport we need to play.
This is a team sport we need to play. Coinbase General Counsel explaining why they filed an amicus brief in favor of Ripple. And Mr. Intuitive put this out there. Take a listen.
Give Speaker McCarthy an off-ramp, an exit strategy. The exit strategy is very clear. Do your job. Congress must act. Prevent a default. That's what a success, not for him. It's not about the president. It's about the American economy. It's about the American people. That's what the president views as success. That's the way that it should be done. Regular order. This is regular order. What House Republicans are saying is that they want to potentially, if they get their way, threaten the country's first default.
So they will continue to raise the debt limit and let the money printers print money out of thin air, because that is what the Federal Reserve has said is the only way to fix this problem. And here we have Representative Brad Sherman from California talking about the adoption of crypto. And guys, you'll see organizations FUD crypto and say there's no utility. Bank of England fintech head says crypto doesn't fulfill any of the functions of money. If you guys enjoy this content and you learned anything in the video, make sure you smash the like button. It helps the content, and I really do appreciate it. At a recent event, Tom Mutton, the Bank of England's head of fintech, touted the privacy benefits of CBDCs. Keep in mind, Ripple's developing that private central bank XRP ledger for CBDCs to interact on. And then you'll see things like this. 32% of home offices invest in digital assets. Goldman Sachs. So why is there so much investment and speculation in these digital assets if there's no value in them? And look at this right here from Wrath of Kahneman. There's some excellent Ripple details in this African Blockchain Report 2022. Given an entire page, it includes this graphic of the African countries Ripple is active in a pitch for XRP using on-demand liquidity. And you can see right here, 13, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Egypt, Ghana, Kenya, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, Senegal, South Africa, Togo, Uganda. Keep in mind, MFS Africa, this is like the PayPal of Africa, as a Ripple on-demand liquidity user also is given space. Note in the previous graphic, I believe MFS Africa is the connection for the West African countries. Interesting wording of the ISO 222 compliance in SWIFT. And it shows here in 2023, MFS Africa partnered with the American crypto payment solution provider Ripple to create ISO 222 compliant payment services using blockchain-based payment rails. The ISO 222 standard is a new specification from SWIFT, the global cooperative that sets industry standards for financial messaging and the transmission of payment information across borders. It establishes an innovative, high-speed incarnation of the existing SWIFT protocol for cross-border payment. It enables new opportunities to interoperate with distributed ledger technology. MFS Africa will be leveraging Ripple's on-demand liquidity service to tap into various existing liquidity reserves on Ripple's network. Take a listen briefly to some of this clip from Representative Brad Sherman.
We've got to keep up with other countries. You know, Peru is way ahead of us in cocaine production. China's way ahead of us in organ harvesting. We don't need to keep up on those things, and we don't need to keep up on crypto. As for protecting U.S. investors, investors know, and they certainly know now, that when you send your money to the Bahamas or Cayman Islands, you do not have protection. You could lose it all. And the idea that we should tell investors that something's licensed in the United States when it's not only as dangerous for the investors as crypto is, but as harmful to our country as crypto tries to be, I don't see a reason to do that.
Okay, but there's
Nicely said, guys. If you made it to the end of the video, comment digital assets in the comment section below. Thank you for giving me 10 minutes of your day when you watch the full video. It really supports the channel, so thank you guys in advance. Comment digital assets in the comment section below. As always, guys, thanks for the support on the channel. This channel is nothing without you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. Until next time.